Hi, it's Musolini. Interesting. It's Ethan Musolini, the merchant of success. Welcome to this amazing topic dealing with the current digital age system 2.0. Looks like the digital age was becoming a challenge with me pronouncing my name. So that's why I was laughing. All right. Again, I look at 5 segments. That is the clarity, the mindset, the strategies, the skill set, and the mastery. Now, let's look at some definitions here. So digital transformation is the application of digital capabilities to processes, products, and assets to enhance efficiency. And again, underline that word, enhance efficiency. A good number of things can be done manually, so to speak, but with digitization, efficiency can definitely be enhanced. And this is otherwise referred to as the information age, a historic period in the 21st century characterized by a rapid shift from traditional industry that the Industrial Revolution brought through industrialization to an economy based on information technology, or well known as IT. The future is mobile, okay? Yes, this. I was asking my wife recently, I said, do you really love your phone? And they said, you know, I do a lot of work on the phone. How could I have been dumb to appreciate that? So digital data, digital media, digital transformation, digital marketing. These are words you keep hearing. These are words that, you know, are shared through and through and amazing. My 3.5-year-old was recently said, I'm going to attend an online class, because she knows her elder sister attends online classes. So which is incredible by itself. Talking about which, something as a side note, I would also encourage us to hang around children and watch how they figure out things quickly, because they are not scared, they don't have rules in their brains. And so you're able to see things that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. So why is digital transformation important? Why is mastering digital transformation important? There are a couple of reasons that you and I need to be aware of. Number one, this is the direction that the world is taking. The world over, doesn't matter where, but this is it. Okay. Employers are looking for techie savvy employees. I will tell you, for me, for the team that I have, those who are techie savvy, that's an extra plus. So think about it. Someone who just knows accounting, packages per se, or someone who knows his way or her way around these things to do with data analytics, with search engine optimization, or with digital marketing, which I'll be talking about later, then the one who has these other extra digital skills is definitely going to be more in demand. And just the way at one time, I recall at one time, it was the in thing and a must, which it is even up to now, to have Microsoft skills, Microsoft Office skills. Now it's going to be that with digital marketing or IT, you know, IT skills besides, you know, Microsoft Office is going to be a must. This skill keeps you up to speed with the new normal, because the new normal is virtual. So if you have the tech skills, then you're able to be up to speed indeed. I will tell you that if just knowing these skills will save you a lot of money. What do I mean? I've seen some companies or some clients who have been ripped off by people claiming to do digital marketing for them, and they hoodwink them, and they do something very basic and they charge a fortune. So if you know what you're doing, if you know what the digital world looks like, then it will save you. It will save you a lot of money. And so rather than thinking, the tech guys will do everything, yes, but at least you need to be in the know. You need to have at least some basic ideas, some basic knowledge. So I cannot emphasize you educating yourself. Otherwise, you might be cheated. And to the other side is you will be able to get the most out of your money once you know what you really want. The other thing is that the current generation prefers to transact online. Okay, so it is what it is because people are switched on that way. You can do digital signatures now with, it was really cool. When was it? About a year ago, when someone wanted documents signed and all that and said, deliver them to office. And it was cool for me to be able to, to do a digital signature using PDF and all that. So it was really amazing. And it quickens the process, saves time, saves money. And of course, everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. But having said that, this is the age we are living in anyway, and most people prefer to transact online. I mean, think about it, say mobile banking, that should give you an idea. Yes, here is key to note. The world is going virtual. Virtual customer service assistants, virtual meetings, virtual sales. I mean, the world of virtual assistants has been running for many years now, whereby in the global market, I would like to suggest that the virtual assistants, the two markets which have been dominating, at least from my own circles, are the online marketing circles. In the online marketing circles, by the way, Philippines seems to be #1. And then, of course, there's India for virtual assistants. People who can do stuff. I mean, it's amazing what's possible. There's something I wanted fixed. And if you go to, people are offering so many virtual services. In case you're not familiar with this, there's a site called, let me type that for you, Fiverr.com, okay? These guys literally provide, you can find all sorts of services which can be done online. I remember there is something we had a challenge with on my site for forms, and I managed to get it sorted out for $10 in less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes, something was sorted out for $10. The guy who did it was he like from India or something like that? Yeah, that's how amazing this can be. So we've gone from, okay, please, when can you come to the office? Okay, tomorrow I want to be here. Okay, you come the other time. Then they come and then you wait and then they sit and then, something which would take days now can take minutes, sometimes even seconds. Also, you need to remember that digital transformation isn't something you can ignore. So that's why it's unfortunate for people who are not exposing themselves to this. They are doing themselves a disservice, to be honest with you. The other thing about me is I'm not a techie, but I love technology. I love having people who are techie around me, people who are tech savvy around me, so to speak. So for me, it's crucial in this particular day and age. All right, talking about which, continue. Superior digital strategies can boost revenue by more than 15%. That's what it is. And when I say more than 15%, that's very, very real. That's being conservative. Here are some interesting statistics to take note of. Okay. All right, so here again are some interesting statistics to take note. Every single second, more than 40,000 Google searches take place around the world. Think about that, every single second. 40,000 searches. There are approximately 5 billion smartphones currently in use around the world. In 2017 alone, a total of 1.5 billion smartphones were sold. That's why I feel one of the best taglines, I don't know who came up with it, but I believe it was brilliant. For Airtel to say the smartphone network, brilliant, because we are in the smartphone world. And I mean, even those who don't have money, they are looking for smartphones, who don't have smartphones yet. So I felt that was a brilliant tagline. All the 10 of the skills on LinkedIn most in demand hard skills listed are related to technology. Think about that. All of them, somehow, they are linked to technology. Forbes experience with AI or artificial intelligence as the #1 in demand skill globally. So that should also tell us, like some of us who are parents, that, hey, this is a space, artificial intelligence is an area you cannot ignore. And just so you know, most jobs are being replaced by AI. If your job can be automated, then just remember you need to style up and upgrade your skill sets or abilities, because AI is aggressively taking over most of these skills. I mean, these roles played by human beings. Let's talk about mindsets for dealing with the current digital age. #1, collaboration mindset. What you don't have, someone else has. It's a question of you reaching out, going to groups, to, you know, wherever you might think about, whether it's Google groups or Facebook groups. There are groups that have already tackled the issue that you want or that you're looking for. What I usually advise my clients is that if there's anything that you want to do on your computer, meaning there's some techie thing, all you need to go to YouTube, type in a question, then there's someone somewhere in some part of the world who has uploaded a video, and all you do is you click play. Once they finish a step, you press pause, then you do play, press pause, monkey see, monkey do, as they say. So you just keep doing what you're seeing. Next, online properties are actual properties. Take care of them. Did you know that there are some, let me put it this way. So if you see a website, as an example, which has a lot of traffic, of web traffic, and you see a banner there, it means someone is paying. That's the equivalent of someone knowing that on the certain street, there is a lot of traffic and people put their billboard ads, and someone pays money to put their ad there because they know people will be passing by to see that billboard. Same thing. So it's an online property. So there are some even people who build websites, and then they say, for example, all right, I'm going to, I have this website, it's about this particular subject matter. All you need to do is pay this amount of money, and I put your ad there, and per month you pay me so much. So how different is that from an advertising agency coming, or a company coming to you? You have your building and say, you know what, we need to paint your front wall with our advert, and then each year or each month we are going to pay you so much. So meaning, apart from the physical properties, we also have the online properties. The third mindset is the agility. You need to move very fast, because the world is moving super quick, right? And moving fast means that what you did yesterday could be obsolete today. That's what technology is. So meaning every day you need to be checking what's going on, what's different, what's changing. Are people changing in behavior? I noticed that one of the biggest lessons I've learned doing this series is the value of checking in every day. So I check in with the team every day to look at certain numbers, to look at certain things. And I'm learning, the team is learning, and we are growing just the same way you're growing, because it means certain things. And there are things we will discover along the way. We've been discovering along the way and changing mistakes we've been doing along the way and correcting. And that's what the online world requires. If you don't, hey, you're left behind. Next is lifelong learning. So this is an age that is not going to go backwards. It's going to continue moving forwards. Let me make a quick check of that. So just so you know, for example, I got to know recently, was it like last month, that G4 is going to be rolled out, and it's what's going to take over Google Analytics. So what we know as Google Analytics for now, which is globally used, is going to be replaced by G4. So meaning, if you are in the tech world, you need to study, learn, master, figure out the G4 platform. So meaning you and I have to become lifelong learners, otherwise we are going to be left behind. Okay. The other mindset is that done is better than perfect. Sometimes, I have to say sometimes. You cannot, if you're, you can imagine if, there's where perfection is a must. For example, for people who, like aeronautic engineers, they have to get everything perfect. Otherwise, that life is at stake. But other than that, what I like about the digital world is that you can test out things faster and quicker and get feedback. What do I mean? If you're going to place an advert in a newspaper, you know that you're going to spend money in one go, and it had better bring a return on investment. Therefore, the ad had better be as good as humanly possible. But in the digital world, you can test out, you can post different ads, you can find platforms that don't charge a lot of money and test different ads to see which one are people responding to the most. So very, very important for you to switch into the mode of done is better than perfect, because you can have versions. Let me put it that way. In the online world, you can easily have version 1.0, version 2.0, just like this series are version 2.0. So next year, most likely I'll have version 3.0, and on we go. All right. But think about the offline world, where it would have meant getting into a studio, getting cameras, and getting all this stuff. I mean, it becomes super expensive. But with the digital world, you can think of versions, and then you can iterate or change or even leave the project all over and start again, anew. Then the other mindset is the virtual service mindset. So you need to think virtual world. How do I serve customers in a virtual world? My wife was telling me recently, so it was, we're told that in our part where we stay, they said, look, that there will be, Umeme will be doing some servicing, we'll be doing some work, and therefore wouldn't have power up to 5. So came to 6 and there was no power. So my wife sent a text message, say, hey, you said power will be back by 6 o'clock, sent a text message to Omeme, sent a WhatsApp message, said, okay, you said that they would have power by 5, now it is 6 o'clock, but there's no power. And someone responded immediately and said, okay, let me check and then I'll let you know. So after a couple of minutes possibly less than 30 minutes or so, power was switched on, and this person, whoever it was, responded, sent a message to my wife, say, hey, by the way, I was just checking whether you now have power. And my wife, of course, responded with gratitude. My wife said, wow, these guys are really serious. They are really so good with their service. And that was virtual customer service at its best. So well done for whoever was serving at that moment at Umeme. So that was very, very impressive. So it means they're in the right mindset. That team was in the right mindset, responding there and then. Justine saying that once more info around done is better than perfect sometimes. So done is better than, okay, I get your point. Let me first clean that up. I know where you're coming. Okay, so Justine's asking about done is better than perfect, and I had forgotten to add these extra words, in your head. So if you do something, it's better than a perfect thing in your head, which is not yet done. And I'm saying sometimes. When I say sometimes, of course, I meant there are things which you need to do perfectly right away. You cannot do imperfect things. There are certain things you cannot do in an imperfect manner. But other than that, over 99% of the time, something you've done or accomplished is better than some perfect image you have in your head. And this is very common among us perfectionists. And I also believe I have some perfectionism in my head. Sometimes I can build an idea in my head and I build it over and over and over and over again. Like even this series, I thought about it for over 2 months. And it took me more than 2 months to get going because I was thinking of the perfect way to do it. But, the time came where I knew I had to just get it done, to just start. That's it. Is any of these products perfect? Absolutely not. But guess what? What I've done, what I've accomplished, is, in my estimation, 100 times or even 1,000 times, even 1,000,000 times better than me just spending time just perfecting things in my head, but they don't go out there in the world. So you'd rather release version 1.0 to the world and people experience it, get value from it, and criticize it or challenge it, and you get feedback. Then you start working on version 2.0 rather than imagining and dreaming out a perfect version 10 or 9.0. So any day, I would rather have version 1.0 out there in the world, and then the world starts giving you feedback, than version rather than version 9.0, which you're still concocting and creating and perfecting in your head. That's what I meant. All right, let's look at the strategies. It's okay, Dan Ray. Strategies for dealing with the digital age. Here are a couple of strategies. So the first strategy is the automation strategy. So meaning, what can be automated? In other words, you need to think about that. Because you need to decide what is your physical presence and what can be done online with or without you, as an example. So within your sphere, is there something that can be automated in your work? What is that? I'll give you an example. Recently, we were doing, I was part of a training, and people were meant to send in feedback, and a form was meant to be sent. So a form was sent to this HR person to print out, give to the participants, and then they were meant to give their answers, scan, and then send back. And I was like, wait a minute. And guess what? The response was extremely low. So I was chatting with one of our consultants saying, look, the current online classes I'm doing, the forms are online. So automation, what can be done online? Let's get it done, because this was also an online session anyway. So ideally, that feedback form should have been also online, or could have been done online, the way we are doing it with these segments or classes. So that's the key question you need to ask yourself. The second key strategy is digital skills and capabilities. You need to improve your capabilities and skills, improve your gadgets, improve your skills. When I say improve your gadgets, it could mean that I was checking recently, when was it? It was one of the days, was it last Friday or something? So we had, that day when we had issues with power, I believe it was Friday. Yes, it was Friday. So because I was using the inverter and I knew it could work for just a few hours, and I knew, so I was looking for ways to save power. So I have a phone that a spare phone, a backup phone that I use. Which I not use. It's my daughters who use it in the evenings when it's their cartoon time when they want to watch something. So my daughter was supposed to attend a class, and I thought to myself, wait a second, to save power, rather than her using the normal power on the laptop, she can actually attend the class using the phone. And since she's comfortable with the phone, she uses it every day. That's cool. So when it came to, and then of course, I wanted us to use the mobile internet rather than the broadband, which again was using the inverter power. So when I switched on the phone for the Zoom session, the network was very slow. I was wondering, it was beaten. Then when I checked, I noticed that the SIM cards which were there were showing 3G stroke 2G. I was like, okay, now I get it. So I had not replaced the SIM cards with 4G SIM cards, and as such, the internet was slow. So it wasn't about the internet from the service providers, it was the gadget. It was the SIM cards which I had not upgraded. So meaning, when we do not upgrade our gadgets or our facilities, then we are slowed down, then we experience unnecessary impediments. And of course, you need to improve your skills. Are you able to host a meeting? Are you able to attend a meeting actively and productively? Because, for example, do you know what a breakout room is? Can you set it up? Can you attend? Do you know how to participate actively? There are people who have learned that during this series that I'm doing. And I'm like, well, good for you. At least you've learned a technical skill, which is important in this day and age. So your digital skills and capabilities has to be one of your core priorities. Just the same way it's important to learn the technical aspect of your job, which is very, very important. Please, I cannot emphasize enough that digital skills and capabilities are extremely important for you. And if any of you is very serious, there's a program I've been participating in. And if you reach out to me, I'll share my numbers later. If you reach out to me, I can share with you a platform where you can learn this. I need to dig it up in my contacts and send it to you. So you can reach out to me, then I can advise. There is money to invest, but it would be money well spent. Next is alignment. You need to align your actions, ways of being, CV, environment with the current digital requirements. So are you up to date? Are you aligned with what is going on in the world? Are you behaving in ways that show that you're fully tuned in to the current digital age? Research. What are the current trends? What are the new technologies? Okay. So you need to be aware of these new technologies. Otherwise, and the challenge is they are always changing. And I really feel one of your roles as a person who is a techie, and that's something I've been sharing with one of our team members, is if you're the person in charge of IT, you should be updating and briefing your team about the current technologies, the current trends, upcoming trends, such that your team is up to date. If I was in charge of technology or IT, every month I would have a 1-hour brief to the team, to the organization. So in my view, I feel if you're not doing that, you're really doing your team or an organization a disservice, because technology is changing every day. And if that's part of your role, you can help your team to at least brief them, because they're not spending enough time in the digital world or in the technological world as you do. The other key is people. Technology is enabled by people. So who are the people that can help you thrive in the digital age? And part of that, of course, is hanging around young people who are savvy, tech savvy, so to speak. That's one. Number two, if you have children who are passionate about technology, invest in them. Let them do courses online. That is money well spent. For your staff, also expose them, invest in them, let them do certain courses related to that, because then it comes in very handy. One of our IT guys was not savvy with video and stuff, so we invested money for him to acquire that skill, and he has added a lot of value in the process. So please invest in your team to learn these skill sets. Okay, so Justin was reminding me that, rather than for this particular mindset of for this mindset of done is better than perfect in your head sometimes. So what she's proposing is we could actually say that action done is better than perfect model in your head. And I like that. So that's even better. Thank you, Justin. Here are 8 critical skills for thriving in the digital age. Number 1, ability to learn independently. Because you see, in the traditional world, you would sit with your colleagues, you're in the same class, and you can check the person here, and you can, they are in your proximity. And so, but now, typically, you need to develop the discipline and the capacity to sit alone and learn. That's what it is now. So if you're the type, if people are not around me, I can't learn. Well, that bus has left. And that model will keep shrinking with time. So you need to learn you need that ability to learn independently. Next is ethics and responsibility. You must be trusted. Payments, passwords, and delivering on your promises. So trust has always been very valuable. And at the same time, the question is, can you be trusted with someone's password? Because these are online properties anyway. There are people who have access to my passwords and all that. And, it is what it is. People have to trust you with that. So if you're not trustworthy and there's something that needs to be done and it can only be done online, then you're going to be stuck, because then someone can't pass on their password to you. So the trust factor is going to be even in bigger demand, or will continue to raise in demand. The other skill which you have to work on is working with virtual teams. Are you able to, at Success Africa now, we've been sharing with organizations, say, look, we are open to do training on virtual team building, okay? So what's possible? And part of that is you as an individual, you need to learn what does it take to work with virtual teams or in virtual teams. Are you able to work with someone that you cannot see their face, so that you contribute your part? Are you able to work with different platforms, whether it is a simple thing as Dropbox or Slack and those sorts of platforms, or to be able to do work, Google Docs and all that? You need to learn that. Knowledge management, gather new knowledge and use it in relevant contexts. So with all this knowledge that you're gathering, how are you using it? And are you using it in ways that are useful for your organization or your team or your personal life or whichever dreams that you're working on? The fifth skill, which to me is one of the most important, if not the most important, in my estimation, in my world, is digital marketing and selling. Are you able to sell online? Are you able to market your personal brand? Are you able to market your organization online when people cannot see you? Because it is what it is. I mean, this series, people had to, some people have never seen me. They had to go on the page and I had to convince them to give me their name and email, and here we are. I'm not yet there, but at least I'm learning and growing. This is an area I'm very passionate about, and I'm always learning and growing. And this is something, regardless of your profession, you must learn, my dear, because I believe that whoever has mastered this skill, it can only keep increasing in value. Just the same way you see artificial intelligence is growing in value, digital marketing skills can only keep increasing in value. So if you really want to boost your value in wherever you are, whether it's for profit or non-for-profit, that's it. And when we say digital marketing, I don't just mean social media. There are people who think that digital marketing means just social media marketing. No, social media is just, digital marketing is wider than social media. So when I say digital marketing, whether it is using email, that's part of digital marketing, as an example. So when we say search engine optimization, that's part of digital marketing. Social media ethics and management. So what are the ways and means in which you should operate in the social media? And also there are certain ethics, there are certain words you cannot use, for example. And if you do, and you violate the terms and conditions, your account will be banned. So you need to know. So if you're going to use foul language and racist language and abusive language as an example, then your account gets banned. And I know of some people, high-profile personalities, who have lost jobs because they made a tweet and used a certain word or a certain group of words that was not acceptable. And the plug is pulled and that person no longer has a job. So you have to be very careful. And sometimes, again, last time we were talking about your personal brand and netiquette. So just be very careful what you post, because it might come back to bite you even 10 years down the road. Because once it's online, then there's a permanent record of it. And even when you later delete it, someone can take a screenshot and still bring it up before you delete it. Data analytics. Are you able to look at different stats online and interpret it and make sense out of them and use that to make a decision? So you need that. That's not an area I really enjoy, to be honest. But if you really if you're the person who loves numbers, that's an area to really explore. That's also a very, very highly valued skill. Search engine optimization. Now, when I say search engine optimization, sometimes it's written in short form as SEO. So the way that works is that, okay, let me demonstrate that, because some of us may not know, but let me. Okay, so any of us who, what subject would you want me to search about online on Google? What would you like me to search about on Google right now? So that we do this live, so that you get to know what search engine optimization is. Just type in any keyword. What do you want me to research online right now? Just type in the chat box so that we do it live. Okay, so let's just suppose we want to research or looking for, let's just suppose you're looking for, yeah, let's say laptop computers. Okay, you'll go to Google. So Google is a search engine. Okay, now I'm going to type that and see. Now, first of all, where you see ads, that means someone is paying money to appear there. So you leave that. Now, here's someone who who is optimized for okay. So you see now this Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is one of the top sites. Of course, it has heavy traffic and authority, so to speak. It's respected. Authority means it's respected by the search engine. So whatever appears there, then the search engines like Google think that it must be valuable. Now, please note, I typed in laptop computers. See, now in the first lines you see here, it says a laptop computer. Now, this word laptop computer, they put it there specifically such that when we say optimize, it means it is strategically positioned to answer or to respond to people who are searching for the word laptop computers. See Amazon here. Okay, it says laptop computers from Amazon. That was strategically put there. Okay, this is Jumia. See, it has certain keywords. Laptops have been provided. There's the word laptop, the laptop. So when I say search engine optimization, it's really, if I was to say it in the layman's language, it's how you structure the content on your website to make sure that it matches the needs of people that you're targeting to see your content. So if you're selling laptop computers, it means on that web page, on the website page, if you must make sure that those keywords, we call them keywords, in this case, laptop computers, are appearing on that page, so that when the search engine is looking around, searching through the world of billions of pages, say, this page has the most relevant content around laptops, okay? So if we were to open this Wikipedia as an example, just to give you a hint, so when you structure your page and it gives useful information, then it tells the world that, it tells the search engines that, okay, this page has useful information. You can see it has the word laptop here, laptop. Of course, it doesn't mean that you just use it anyhowly, notebook computer, laptop computer. So that's what I mean by search engine optimization. Okay, all right. Let's talk about mastery. That is, you need to audit your skills vis-a-vis the digital age, identify new skills needed and start implementing. audit your technologies and gadgets, and make a plan on how you will improve on the technology and gadgets that you're currently using. So that's the mastery level that you need to think about and engage with, okay? So before we continue, because I want to so Emily Bagarukayo is a lecturer in computer science at Makerere University. So I thought I'm sure she has some extra insights besides what I've just shared on how we can thrive in today's digital age. Emily, please give it a go. Here we are listening.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I believe Ethan has shared the benefits of the digital age. We're in the digital age, and I believe he has shared the benefits. I'm sorry that I kind of logged in late. I was driving, and finding data was not easy. So, yeah, what I just need to add is that we need to embrace the digital age, because without it, we will crash. So I'm sure COVID has taught all of us. There were people that were dilly-dallying, but with COVID, we have all learned that we cannot run away from the digital age. We cannot run away from digital transformation. So basically, we have to integrate digital technologies in everything that we do, whether it's a business, whether it's your culture, whether it's customer experiences, whatever you're doing, we have to integrate these technologies. Ethan has talked about artificial intelligence. We're now in the fourth industrial revolution, and therefore we have to embrace the latest technologies. So what I would say is that we just need to retool, go and study, go and learn these new things that are out there, and make sure that you are abreast with what is happening. Technology changes every day. I can't even say I'm an expert in technology, because one day you know something and the next day it is no longer the thing. But anyway, what we need to do is embrace it and integrate it, because now it is in every sector. Yeah, we are now in be it e-government, be it health, be it agriculture. We all have to embrace technology. So ICT for rural development, for development itself, anything that we need to do, we're going to have to do. We have to use ICTs, because the analog life is gone. That generation is long gone. So we're now in the digital era. And also, I encourage you to get new skills.
Emily.
Yes.
Just a second, Emily.
Yes, Ethan.
Emily,
yes.
Are you hearing me? Okay,
yes,
we
I can
need
hear you.
to unpack it. And that is, you mentioned about the fourth industrial revolution. So apart from artificial intelligence, what other technologies are under the fourth industrial revolution that people need to pay attention to?
Fourth industrial revolution, we have Internet of Things. I'm sure many of us have seen watches that have they're digital. Now your watch can connect to your gadget at home. Fridges, very soon these devices are going to be in our homes. Yeah, so you can be at home or you can be wherever you are and order for stuff from the supermarket, and you just check in your fridge via your phone or via your smartwatch, and check and say, oh, we have no milk, we have no bread. And this enables you can even order to the supermarket online and say, okay, I need bread, I need milk, I need this, and they can even deliver them to your doorstep. So almost everything that we use every day will have all these will have technology. So Internet of Things, we have blockchain technologies, which are very good for security, because when exchanging information over the network, we need to ensure that it's secure. The person sending a message should ensure that it comes back, it goes to the right recipient and arrives without being altered. So security, blockchain technologies are good for that. Then we have, as already mentioned, Internet of Things. Which other one haven't I mentioned?
Are the robotics part of it?
Robotics, yes, robotics. Where we have the bots as well. Yeah, so robots and yeah, and many other technologies that keep coming up every day. We have 3D printing, genetic engineering, quantum computing. So all these things are part of the fourth industrial revolution, which is supposed to also aid in our carrying out of tasks, be it business, be it education. Right now, you can see everyone has gone online, and the technologies are going to keep advancing to make life easier for us. I work at Macquarie, and we're still trying to figure out how we're going to give online exams without the students compromising. So yeah, so we have to continue advancing in technology as the needs appear. So Ethan, I hope I have
Yes.
Added something to what you said.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Emily, thank you so much for your insights. For me, one of the most crucial was around the fourth industrial revolution, because I attended the conference either 1.5 years ago or thereabouts. And for me, it was very revealing, exposed me to this technology. So I just wanted you to add insight to that, and which was very valuable. The only addition, the other addition I would like to make around the fourth industrial revolution is definitely we need to be exposed to, please, you need to get closer to at least get a theoretical understanding of blockchain technologies, because I will tell you that as we speak right now, I know most people, for example, are shying away from crypto and all that, and I would say please be careful indeed, because there are so many scams around, but there are also some truth around. For example, I know, for example, online, there are more companies are adopting to accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. And what I know for a fact, as an example, is you being familiar with being able to buy Bitcoin and pass it on to someone else. It would save you a lot of money in terms of, say, transferring money from one person to another country, as an example. It is much cheaper using crypto technologies. I know that there are other technologies other than Bitcoin. So I just need, is it ERP? Are you very familiar with, not ERP, but I know you can move like USDT. Okay, of course, that may sound like Chinese for some of us, but just know, for example, you can move money from one person to another for one of the technologies online for just $1. Okay, of course, with Bitcoin, it is more. So the point I'm making is, by you exposing yourself to these technologies, it can save you money. It takes a bit of a learning curve, but for example, using those different technologies is very important. And Burhan is reminding us of XRP, Ethereum. So Ethereum, sometimes you see it as ETH. So you need but I know there's a platform which can move USDT. Burhan, you seem to be familiar. I've just forgotten the name. But using that platform, that protocol, it's called a protocol, actually. It's a protocol. You can just use $1 to move money from here to any person in the world if they have access to that. Emily says AI, automation, big data analytics. Yeah, big data analytics is huge, huge, huge stuff. Cloud technologies, high-speed mobile internet. Again, these might look like Chinese, so to speak, but better for you to be exposed to these things. So then, because then it will save you time, it will save you money. Then you also need to know what technologies your one of the Binance app is one of the best in crypto exchanges. Well, yeah, I use mainly Binance myself. So I would say, please just expose yourself to these technologies. It could save you energy, money, and time. Yeah, so I know we've made a shift. And so as we wrap this up, this particular segment, before we go into Q&A, just think about what did you find most useful in this presentation, and how are you going to implement the lessons moving forward in your life and career stroke business? All right. What did you find most useful in this presentation, and how are you going to implement the lessons moving forward in your life and career stroke business? Please go ahead. Rohan, you want to talk about blockchain technology. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. All the participants on this webinar. Recently, I participated in a webinar that was organized by SAMEA, which is South African Monitoring and Evaluation Association. And I got to learn that blockchain technology is being used to monitor deforestation in Cambodia. That's where
it's being used to do what? Come again?
Is used to monitor deforestation in Cambodia.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted you to say that is because, I mean, we have environmental experts in the room right now as we speak, so that should be exciting. Tell us a little more about
that. Many countries are also building up the digital currencies, for example, China, and others also taking up the lead.
Yeah.
And also, the blockchain technology is being used for several reasons. For example, in digital transactions, people are now getting into investing in digital coins, and it's really a great venture. If you first studied the coins you want to invest in, and then you invest in, you risk some of your money to increase on your investing portfolio. Then some countries also have started using the blockchain technology to issue land titles. And yeah, Bitcoin has now become a legal tender to some other countries. And the other digital coins that are coming on board. And for example, there is Ethereum that came after Bitcoin. There is Dogecoin, there is XRP, and many to mention. So it's better now to go online. Everything is on the web, and learn more other coins. Even there is YEM, your everyday money, FEG token for those who are good in conservation. That FEG token is under backing a gorilla, so it's about conserving the gorilla. Then there are many other coins. So there are other exchanges that I know about. There is Binance exchange that is that is one of the best in the world so far. You can be able to learn more other exchanges with time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bruhan. Much appreciated. Yeah, Binance is at one time it had even opened up an office here in Uganda. So it's very reliable and super quick. So definitely you cannot avoid the reason why it caught my attention when you talked about blockchain being used to fight against deforestation in Cambodia is because, I mean, in the house, we have 3 environmentalists with PhDs, including an associate professor in the environment in the name of Goreti Nabanoga, who's also a deputy principal for College of Environment and agricultural sciences. So yeah, so that's very useful indeed to hear. I didn't know about that story of Cambodia and blockchain. So in the chat box, I've posted USDT-ERC20 protocol. Sometimes you hear people using words like Tron. So I discovered that instead of sending Bitcoin as an example, so Bitcoin still charges you some money. And so, but rather than send Bitcoin to someone, ask them if they can instead accept USDT. So this is Victor money, but it is stabilized against a US dollar. So meaning when you send $1,000, the other person will receive $1,000 when it is USDT. The challenge with Bitcoin, though, sometimes is it is very volatile. So meaning you can buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and then it has to go through several checks. And by the time it reaches the person, let's say in the next 1 hour or two, the price could have dropped or increased if it's very volatile. Now USDT stays stable. So meaning if you get 1,000 worth of USDT, the other person receives 1,000 worth of USDT. But now to send so what you do is if you have Bitcoin, you translate it into USDT first, and then you send it to someone, and then you have to use this protocol to send it. Again, the good news is there are so many videos on YouTube which can teach you these things. How do I send this, or how do I do this? So this one of what I like about this protocol is that you actually, as of this recording, you just spend $1, where Bitcoin, it could be as high as $50 or $20, or depending on how much money you're sending anyway. But here you're just sending whichever amount, is just $1. That's what I love about it. I just discovered it a few months ago. So I thought I would just give you that extra tip to save you some money.